Hello, my name is Matt Holitza. I'm the Product Marketing Manager for UiPath Test Suite, and I wanted to thank you for your time today. In this session, I'll give you an overview of UiPath Test Suite's capabilities, and we'll showcase how Test Suite is integrated to the UiPath platform to help you build automations faster, continuously test automations to ensure they keep working, and proactively address issues before they impact your automations in production. This demo is focused on the loan processing automation in a fictitious organization called UI Bank. Over the past year, they have automated 20 business processes, but they have required more maintenance than they bargained for, slowing scaling and frustrating the business. Today, we're going to look at three distinct personas who are all key players in automating loan processing. Susan, who leads the RPA COE, her mission is to automate repetitive business processes and meet an SLA of 98% robot uptime. Faraj is the director of finance operations. His team has become increasingly reliant on automations to free his staff to work with the most strategic customers. He has noticed that loan processing automations haven't been as reliable as they have in the past. He asked Susan to address this as soon as possible. Philip is one of Susan's senior developers and works directly with Faraj on finance automations. Susan asks him to investigate options to build more resilient automations so they can both continue to meet their SLAs and reduce the maintenance that is slowing scaling progress. He discovered that UiPath offers built-in RPA testing with the UiPath Test Suite. He wanted to show Susan and Faraj why Test Suite is a no-brainer. Philip introduces Studio Pro as the IDE for building and testing automations. It is the same interface as Studio, just with more features like test automation and mobile automation. He explains the loan processing workflow that has been problematic as of late. This back-end automation automatically processes new loan applications and is a mission-critical process that must keep working. There are several decision points within the workflow. First, it will look up the user. If they exist, it will continue. If they don't, it will automatically register them. Then it runs a credit check. Based on the score, it will either approve or decline the loan. All of these paths must be tested to ensure that all activities are working properly before publishing to production. He then shows them how easy it is to add a new test case directly from the workflow. Philip points out that tests can be data-driven to ensure the automation can handle multiple data variations. For this workflow, he has already added a number of test cases and wants to show Susan how a test case works. This test case will ensure existing customers that are qualified will receive an approval. Every test case is structured as a given, when, then. Given is where you specify the test data that will be used in the when clause, which will actually run the workflow. And finally, the then clause is where the testing happens. This is where we verify that the workflow processed the data correctly. In this case, we expect the loan to be approved at a rate of 6%. He then executes one of the test cases. In Studio, test cases are executed in debug mode, so the developer can watch as the test executes. While the test executes, Philip points out that all of the test cases he built in Studio Pro to test the workflow can be published to Orchestrator along with the workflow components and can be scheduled to continuously test the process. After the test case is finished, he highlights the activity coverage panel. After running this test case, 68% of the activities have been tested. He shows them that all of the activities in the workflow turn green once they have been tested. The activities colored red have yet to be tested. This will help identify new test cases so he ensures new customers can register and unqualified applicants are declined. Then the workflow will be 100% covered. Once the workflow has been fully tested, it's ready to publish to Orchestrator. Philip has already configured Orchestrator to run all the test cases on a daily schedule. Now that continuous testing is set up in Orchestrator, Test Manager will surface any issues so they can be proactively resolved. Test Manager is the planning and analysis center for monitoring automation health. Using Test Manager, the team can create dashboards, plan test cases, view automation and software requirements, manage test sets, analyze test results, and when necessary, create and track defects. He opens the dashboard and shows Susan that she can get an at-a-glance view of overall automation quality. She can see open defect statistics and test coverage statistics for all automations. He opens the test results and drills down and sees a failed test case. Test results are available in both Orchestrator and Test Manager, but Test Manager is the best place to triage an issue and take action to ensure it's resolved. He opens the failure and sees that based on the screenshot that was taken at the time of the failure, it is indeed a problem that could have impacted their loan processing robot. If this wasn't discovered, a customer's interest rates could have been calculated incorrectly, too high in this case. Since they have connected Test Manager to Jira, he can create a defect. Test Manager connects to popular ALM and issue tracking tools like Jira, Azure DevOps, SAP Solution Manager, and ServiceNow. Susan wants to roll out Test Suite to the rest of the team. The ability to find and fix issues before they impact production will help her meet her SLAs. And the fact that testing is built into the platform they are already using will make it seamless to adopt. And now that all automations will be thoroughly tested, her team won't have to maintain them as often, freeing them to focus on building new automations for Faraj and other key stakeholders. Finally, Faraj can now trust that the loan processing robot will keep working and can now expect Philip and the rest of the team to automate more of his processes faster and with greater resilience.